A very good morning, my dear students of class 6. Today in biology, we'll be taking the third part of chapter 2, that is the cell, and we'll be discussing about these topics. The cell organelles, under which we'll be studying cell membrane, cell wall, cytoplasm, nucleus, vacuoles, and different types of plastids. So let us start with the basic structure of a cell. Though we see that there are different types of shapes and sizes of the cells, however, the basic structure always remains the same. And in all the cells, you will find the cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm, and other cell organelles. So first we'll be starting with the cell membrane. All the organelles of a cell, like cytoplasm, nucleus, are enclosed within the cell membrane. It is also called plasma membrane. So here in the diagram you can see this is the nucleus, mitochondria, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, and cytoplasm. Everything is within this cell membrane. So what you see here is animal cell. The cell membrane separates the cell from its surrounding and also one cell from other. So because of this only, it is separated from the rest of the cells. Now look at this. This is a cricket ground and this is the boundary. So you can compare the cell membrane as the boundary of a cricket ground. Okay, the main function of the cell membrane is to regulate entry and exit of substances, and it is selectively permeable membrane. Now why we call it selectively permeable membrane? Because this cell membrane, it allows the entry of substances inside, and the substances also go out of the cell, but not all the substances, only the selected ones. That is why the name given to it is selectively permeable membrane. It is thin and flexible. So you find the cell membrane in both animal cell as well as plant cell. But in plant cell, we have got one more structure, that is cell wall. It is made up of cellulose. And the main function of this is it gives shape to the plant cell and also provides protection. But it is freely permeable. It allows free movement of substances. That means the substances can go inside and outside freely. Okay, so here in this you can see this is the plant cell, and this green portion of it is the cell wall, which is made up of cellulose, and within this one more membrane is there, and that is cell membrane. Now something else also is there inside this light green, which is shown with light green, that is cytoplasm. This liquid is called cytoplasm. It is jelly like semi-solid substance which is made up of salts, water, organic molecules, and whatever is there inside the cell, like nucleus, mitochondria, Golgi complex and all, everything is there in this cytoplasm only. So here you can see this is called cytoplasm, the light green portion, okay, which is a semi-solid substance. Now comes the most important part of the cell, that is nucleus. So it is in the center of the cell. Now here in the diagram you can see this is the nucleus. Okay, as I told you, this is the most important part of the cell. That is why it is also called the brain of the cell. Okay, and we also call it control center of the cell. Why we call it brain or control center? Because it controls all the activities of a cell. and it is spherical in shape, you can see here, and situated in the center of the cell. It has got certain parts. This is a three-dimensional picture. So here you can see this, the membrane. Since it is the membrane of the nucleus, we call it nuclear membrane. It is double, okay, outer membrane and inner membrane. Then inside this, it is filled, okay, with nucleoplasm. It is a dense liquid. We call it nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm, it is a dense liquid which is surrounded by the nuclear membrane. So it is enclosed with the nuclear membrane. Nucleoplasm comprises of a network of thread-like structures. Now here you can see the thread-like structures, okay, and this is called chromatin network or chromatin fibers. During the cell division, these chromatin fibers, they change into rod-like structures. Can you see here something like X? So these are the ones which are called chromosomes. These chromosomes carry genes which help in inheritance of or transfer of characters from the parents to their offspring. Offspring means babies. So from the parents, babies also receive some of the characters of the parents, and that is possible only because of these genes which are present in these chromosomes. Okay, I gave you the example in the live class that the color of the eye, the face, some of the characters, they inherit from their parents, fathers and mothers. Okay, so this is the one chromosome which carry genes, and these genes, they carry the hereditary characters from the parents to the babies. Now in the center, if you see, this is the dark blue spherical structure. If it is one, we call it nucleolus. If it is more than one, the plural is nucleoli. The smaller spherical bodies in the nucleus, which contains blueprints of protein to be synthesized, are called nucleoli. Singular, if it is one, we call it nucleolus. So nucleus is surrounded by a double membrane, outer and inner membrane. Inside this, there is a dense fluid which is called nucleoplasm, and chromatin network is there, which at the time of cell division turns into chromosomes. Chromosomes carry genes which transfer the characters from the parents to the offsprings, and then in the center it has got a nucleolus or nucleoli. Next we have got vacuoles. These are membrane bound hollow storage sacs. So they are meant for storing the substances. They are found in cytoplasm. They help to maintain the shape of the cell. So here you can see animal cell and plant cell. In both you will find the vacuoles, but the difference is in plant cell you will find one or two very large and prominent vacuole, whereas in animal cell you may find, you may not find, but it is, compared to the plant cell, it is small. Okay, and they are temporary also, vacuoles. So it may contain the water, minerals, sugar, amino acids. So the liquid inside this vacuole is there, we call it cell sap. Here you can see vacuoles are filled with a fluid called cell sap. So this is the cell sap, and there is a membrane you can see here. Okay, the membrane which surrounds the vacuole is called tonoplast. So here you see this membrane of the vacuole is called tonoplast. Plant cells can have two or more large vacuoles. The main function of the vacuole is to store food, water and other substances. So basically it is meant for storing the substances. That is why they are called storage sacs. Now the plastids. Now this cell organelle is present only in the plant cell. It is not present in animal cell. These are found in cytoplasm in the form of oval, spherical or disc-shaped structures. The organelles manufacture and store pigments. Basically, there are three types of plastids in the plant cell. So look at this. First one is chloroplast, next one is chromoplast, and the last one is leucoplast. So we'll be studying separately about all this. First one, you are familiar with chloroplasts. They have got a pigment, green colored pigment, which is called chlorophyll. Okay, chloroplast has got green color pigment which is called chlorophyll, and since they are green in color, they also help the plant to prepare food, and that is why the chloroplasts are also called the kitchen of the cell, because food is prepared, as they trap the solar energy of the sun and convert into chemical energy of food for the plants during a process, photosynthesis. Now here you see the leaf and the tender stems, they look green in color. Why? Because chloroplast is present. Chloroplast has got a green colored pigment which is chlorophyll. Okay, now here you see this is the structure of chloroplast. This is bound by a double membrane, outer membrane and inner membrane. Okay, and clearly you can see they have got two parts. One is grana and the other one is stroma. Okay, I'll show you. It is made up of two regions. Grana, the pile of coins. It appears as pile of coins. We call it grana, singular is granum. And then the ground substance, which is shown in sky blue, this is stroma. So this is all about the chloroplast, which has got green colored pigment known as chlorophyll. Since they help in photosynthesis by trapping the solar energy, they are also called kitchen of the cell. Chloroplasts are called kitchen of the cell. They have got two parts, stroma and grana. Then the next one, next plastid is chromoplast. It is a colored plastid. That means it has got the colored pigments except green. Green was chlorophyll. Now they have got all the colors other than green. They are found in fruits and petals of the flowers. That is why the flowers, they look attractive, because they are of different colors. They are responsible for imparting color such as red, yellow and orange. So this is a structure of chromoplast which is present in the plant cell. This is a colored pigment, and because of this the flowers, they look colorful. You can see here not only flowers but the fruits also. So chromoplasts, they contain colored pigments except green, and then they give color to flowers and fruits, and because of this color the flowers become attractive and they attract the insects for pollination, and it also helps in dispersal of seeds also. Then comes the last one here, leucoplast. So unlike chloroplast and chromoplast, leucoplast, they lack any pigment, so they are colorless plastids. They don't have any color. They help in storing food prepared by the plants in form of starch, fats and proteins. So this is the structure of leucoplast. So with this we have come to the end of this topic. Stay home, stay safe and have a great day.